We back, Divine Dynamics. Me and Keely been having some amazing conversation we wanted to share. It's been a powerful podcast that she's been listening to that was breaking down some of the balance issues between the masculine and the feminine that it seems that a lot of people aren't really aware of. And so we wanted to go deeper into it. We was going to talk about it ourselves, but we said, you know what, let's do it on video so other people can take advantage of the information. And so Miss Keela wants to break some stuff down for us.
So they were addressing masculinity, femininity, and what do each one of us bring to the table? How much of ourselves should we bring and put on the table in a relationship? There was a difference of opinion on a percentage on what to bring. Some people are saying 100%. Some people 90 to 95%.
People meaning women or women and men?
Women and men. Okay. There was actually one woman said 90 to 95%.
Of what?
Of yourself you would bring to the table in a relationship. But there was another woman there that said no, 100. And then there were men there that said 100. Although I understood what the girl was saying, who had pointed out the 90 to 95%, she worded it in a way that worked against her. What she was saying is not to deplete yourself in a relationship. You can't deplete yourself because if you come to the relationship whole, and you're wholly participating, you shouldn't be depleting yourself because you should be with somebody who's complementary. That way you guys will pour into one another. And then you don't have to have this escape plan with the saving of the 5 to 10% like the other lady was suggesting. But what I was noticing about the conversation is that they were approaching each other as if both sexes required the exact same thing, and they don't. Just because you guys give differently to a relationship, because masculine and feminine, they complement each other, right? They're not the same. Just because you give different and it looks different doesn't mean that both people aren't giving 100% to the relationship or exactly what's needed. I think that the goal is to be complementary so that we're all healthy and we thrive and we have the best relationship possible. That's going to look different for different couples, but there's definitely a difference between the masculine and the feminine. A lot of people complain about somebody not being feminine enough or they're too masculine, which is pretty much the same thing. But what qualities do you have that you're contributing to the relationship that would make that person be a little more feminine or less masculine? Those are things that we need to talk about. I want people to know the difference between masculine qualities and feminine qualities.
Sound like with the whole 95% and trying to leave 5 for yourself is under the pretense that the other person isn't really giving much. So almost starting from a deficit right off top. They say that you shouldn't be doing 50 or 60, 40. It should be 100, 100. You give 100 of your piece of the relationship and let them give 100 for their piece. It's no one's taking. It's a give and take thing. What you ultimately need, I think, is 2 givers coming to the table. You don't want a giver and a taker. You don't want 2 takers. Things get complicated. But when you get 2 givers, I think you get a situation where people can be full on both sides. And you don't feel like you have to hoard anything because they assume they're not going to be protected. If they protect each other, they can relax, but still be protected, if that makes sense. Definitely got to come in with an open mind. It's about choosing the right partner, somebody you feel comfortable with. And when you do decide to make that call, definitely shouldn't be entertaining anybody you feel you have to keep a percentage from. I think that's just starting on the left foot, in my opinion. With the masculinity, femininity thing, it just feel like we just don't understand it to the level that we should. It's a lot deeper than what it looks like. I don't know if it should be all 100% on either side. You know, I think some people need to have a certain percentage of masculine and a certain percentage of feminine, whether you male or female. It's all about if the dynamics add up properly and you bring that balance. So my idea is that people bring their respective strengths to the relationship. I'm a firm believer that you should be able to contribute to the relationship where you're strongest at. I don't think that you're both going to be strong at the same things at the exact same time. And so I think there's a dynamic there where we can understand and be honest about, even regardless of gender, on some occasions, this person is stronger in this area. In order to protect the relationship, they should lead in that area, or they should take the wheel in that area, at least for the moment, if not for the whole duration, and vice versa. You got to be able to give up a little bit in the spaces where you don't have a lot of strength at. And that's where the balance also comes from. When you got two people together, feminine, masculine, or whatever, but they both are heading and directing the areas of the relationship where they have the most strength, you got a strong relationship. Always go deeper in understanding what femininity is and what masculinity is. There's a big difference between a lot of them, and I think in some ways they might cross each other.
So this list is not all inclusive, but for clarity on masculine and feminine, they say that the masculine is the left part of your brain. The feminine is the right part of the brain. The masculine would be differentiating. The feminine would be integrating. Masculine would be individual. The feminine would be collective. The masculine would have an external focus. The feminine would have an internal focus. When you think about external and internal, think about the sun, the masculine being more of the sun energy. Internal would be like moon energy. Then you have part focus for masculine. You have whole focus for feminine. Sometimes you'll hear women and men getting into it because they feel like a man sees more in a linear way versus in a circular 360. You got to think about this long term or include everybody. And so where it's like part focus and then you have a whole focus. And keep in mind, too, both male and females, men and women, boys and girls, have both masculine and feminine energy. These are not assigned to any gender. The male gender should be stronger in masculine qualities. The female gender should be stronger in the feminine qualities. But we can have strong ones on either side. The masculine is result-oriented. The feminine is process-oriented. Masculine is competitive. The feminine is collaborative. The masculine is hierarchical in structure. The feminine is more circles and swirls. The masculine is more action-oriented. The feminine is planning. The masculine is doing. The feminine is being. The masculine focuses on intent. The feminine focuses on the effect. The masculine focuses on logic, while the feminine focuses on values. The masculine focuses on being independent. The feminine focuses on being interdependent. The masculine focuses on urgent. The feminine focuses on being patient. The masculine focuses more on analysis. The feminine focuses more on intuition. The masculine leads more with their head. The feminine leads more with the heart. The masculine is more into speaking. The feminine is more into listening. The masculine is more into directing. The feminine is more open. The masculine, more assertive. Feminine, accommodating. Masculine, project. Feminine, responds. Masculine is conscious. Again, think about the sun. The feminine is subconscious. Think about the moon. Masculine, structured. The feminine is random. Masculine, linear. Talked about this before. And the feminine is circular. The masculine, cause and effect. Feminine, relationships. Masculine is linear analysis. Feminine is more systems thinking. The masculine is bottom line oriented, while the feminine is more stakeholder oriented. There's a balance to be had between the masculine and the feminine. And it's very important. People get tired of hearing the masculine and feminine, the conversation, but it's because we're having it in a way that's counterproductive. A lot of people are speaking on it. They're just not familiar with it and what goes into both sides, how they complement each other, how to build on qualities or traits that you might need that might be beneficial in your relationship or beneficial to society versus bashing and talking down as if one is weaker than the other. They complement each other. You just have to get the percentages. And once you get the percentages right, you can function in a healthy way. So I really want to dig into this and what it looks like when the masculine is off kilter or the feminine is off kilter, what does it look like? What does it show up as? And later on, we got to get into the wounded masculine, the wounded feminine, and the healed masculine and the healed feminine. Just stick with us. There's going to be great conversations and examples being given. It's a conversation that we need to have.
Bring a little bit more clarity, help people understand a little bit more about how they decide the type of person they want, the type of person they want to be, the characteristics that they need or that they can give. It helps you really break down all these things. And you do it before you find anyone. You do it before you find a partner, right? You stay prepared, you stay intentional, you stay honest and authentic about what your own dynamic is, and especially the one that you're safe with. All right, we out. We'll be back soon. More conversation coming. Divine Dynamics.